I have a wonderful job that takes me all over the world. I thought I'd take you with me today to have a look around the public transport system in Zurich as I do a loop around the city. Well, I told you I had a great job, didn't I? I get to travel all over the place and see stuff like this. I'm on the platforms of the main station in Zurich today, so I've got a few hours to kill, and so I shall watch trains going along. This one's heading to Basel, I believe. It's due out in about 2 minutes. I'll wait here before I go and grab my second coffee and let you see it. All kinds of amazingly clever features they have on these trains. You see the step there? That will go in from the platform edge in just a minute. Well, when the last passengers have finished running for it, that is. Away with you. They do seem much taller, I will say. They're double-decker trains. Rather nice to ride. And less than a minute behind it is that one. I'm not sure where that's going. Go on then, you have a go at pronouncing it. You gotta be quick. And as we speak, another one's pulling in behind me. Now this time of day, most of the trains look pretty much the same. There's one or two that are interesting, but the red and white. But over here we've got the little 3 or 4 car multiple units, and these run off around Lake Zurich. There's a few stops on the way, and for very little money you can ride down there. It's very, very beautiful. And in the background behind them is some rather nice hotels, and a very large square with loads of trams. Let's go have a look over there, shall we? There you go, the Spitzerhof. Very nice hotel, and about 4 lanes of trams that come in one after the other. This just, yeah, never ending seemingly. And there goes our local. So right now it's late morning, and it's a little quiet here. As the day progresses though, lovely trains come in from all over Europe. There's a Pullman kind of looking train that goes off over the Alps, through the Alps more, and they meet up with the narrow gauge trains, which are further up to places like Zermatt. Right on cue is the returning local. They go quite a distance, but it's all one fare zone, so known as the local. Costs about $10 or something like that for a day, and you can ride any means of transport: buses, trolley buses, trams, or these things. This is an older one, locomotive driven. The main station has a rather impressive facade, and there are cars. There's a line of cars over there, mostly taxis, and there's 1 lane of cars over here. But between me and that station there are 6 tracks at least for trams, and they're backed up one behind the other. I'll show you. There's an older one there. That's a trolley bus going by. I'll show you that too in a minute. 2 poles going up. So you've got trams, trolleybuses and trains all in the same spot. And as that tram pulls out, another one will come right behind it. There it is. I don't think it's possible not to see at least 4 or 5 trams here at any one time. An amazing transport system. We'll jump on the next one that comes along. Now, if you ever get lost, just remember the number on the front. This one's a 13. Cross the road and get on one going back the other way. You can't really go wrong now, can you? I've clambered aboard 13, but it could have been any one of a number of trams heading away from the central station. The tourist jumping off the platform there, almost getting run over by the tram, is a common sight. You cross behind the tram and then another one goes the other way. You see him do it twice actually. I think he may be on something. Well, this is Lake Zurich. The old ferry boats, now mostly used for tourists, I think, but you can use them as a ferry and go across the lake to some of the little towns around the lake. The blue train we saw a little while ago will be running around the far side of the lake and goes for several miles down the lake here. Now then, trains, trams, trolleybuses, boats. It's about the only thing in Zurich that is cheap. You can easily drop quite some money on a sandwich and a coffee, which is what I'm going to go and find now. Well, that, my friends, is lunch. A king's ransom. That simple lunch, although it was rather yummy, would cost about 3 times what it costs to run all day all over Zurich on public transport. So yeah, things are expensive here. The transport system is complex. There's no getting away from it. The trams seem to go out like a spider web, but it is a good way to see the city. You can clamber aboard and ride, and some of the trams go right through the old historic part of town, and certainly alongside the waterways, which are really quite picturesque. The hotel there on the far side, that whole veranda, is a restaurant. I love the place, but I wouldn't ever eat there. I just can't afford that. This is more my kind of place, where you sit around on comfy chairs under umbrellas and have a little snack. This is a very busy city. There are cars and there are buses and trucks and who knows what, but the city is dominated by rails and wires. Now that thing looks like it's come from India, doesn't it? That's our tram coming along now, I think. No, that one's going to go to the left there. Ours is way in the distance. You can't see it. It's behind those signs there. We came up here on a 15. I went to the shop to get some bits and pieces to have a snack this evening without breaking the bank. I may sound like a tightwad. I'm not rich. And you need to be to live in Zurich and work here. This is our tram. It will run into the central station and then back out into the suburbs.
Bahnhofgate, Hauptbahnhof, main station.
A different time of day, much busier now that we're back at the station, and primarily locomotive hauled. So as the day progresses, so does the change in train type. Much more interesting in the evenings. Just the masses of people. Looks like any big city station as rush hour approaches. Haven't seen this type before. It's quite new, I think. Sleek. Meanwhile, a little bit of shunting going on. Just moving off the back end of the train. He brought it in, disconnected, and just moved forward onto the buffers. The loud noise was simply the pantograph coming down. Makes a big splat as it disconnects, apparently. The locomotive suitably disconnected. The train can now go back off to Koblenz. Now, while this whole area is incredibly busy, there are 14 platforms up here. There are actually 34 platforms at the station. Most of them are under my feet. The through station is down there. Now, the last time I was here, there was an older version of this locomotive sitting here, and as the train took off, it looked like the locomotive was chasing it, because they run them out to the other end of the platform very quickly once the train departs. Well, there goes the Koblenz train, pulling its way slowly out of the station. And right behind it will come the wait for me locomotive. That's what usually happens. I haven't seen it yet. Let's have a look. Wait for me. Yep. locomotive will stop at the end of the platform, presumably to be moved off somewhere else. I'm not sure why they do it like that, but it's very common. There's a prototype for everything, just saying. Again, as soon as one train's out, another one's in. I was expecting a train to come on the platform I'm standing on, actually. There's one due in about a minute. Well, this is a trolley bus. They're rather rare around here. They're out further in the suburbs, they're there. But this one's running, must be on batteries because it doesn't have its poles up. And the wires are right there, so I don't know what that's about. In Zurich, I've always marveled at the old buildings being used for new things. So there's a McDonald's and a Starbucks in that one. And over here you have a rather ugly co-op building right on the riverbank. So you've got the whole idea of the old and the new living together. But I would have thought you could have done something nicer than that. Old and new trams too. Lots of variety in those. Rather an interesting city, isn't it? Well, I need to get some sleepy nine-eyes before I fly again in the morning. So, hope you've enjoyed this. See you next time. Bye now.
Ciao.